What up? What's up? What's good? What it do? What up with it? You, Wagwan, Que Paso, Que Tao, however you say it from wherever you're from, thank you again for being here. I am one half of the co-hosting team, and this beautiful oval lady here is who?
I am Liz.
And this is Marriage for Grown Folks. All right. Thank you once again for being here. We're excited about today's topic because it kind of came out of nowhere, but it's something that always floats around. All right. Especially if you're a human who believes in all the therapeutic terms and all the healing and, and growth and all of that stuff that some people tend to believe is just nonsense.
Right.
All right. But we are growers. You know what I mean? We want to be the best that we can be. Constant learners. Mm-hmm. We're trying to be the best us. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun today. Mm-hmm. All right. How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I got a lot on my mind, as you can tell. A lot on my mind. A lot of things going on. But I'm glad to be here with you. You know what I mean?
Same.
This is a safe space. You know what I mean? It feels like if we're not talking sometimes, we can have a conversation here. And it goes a long way.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. But I'm doing well.
Good. I'm
glad.
doing
Doing well. My mental is strengthening. My body is okay. You know what I mean? So my health is good.
How's your rest?
I've been getting some good rest. Last night was good rest.
Good.
Last night was good rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're good?
Yeah, my parts aren't hurting anymore.
Okay. Somebody on TikTok said, well, I work out and I do all of this, so I don't feel that stuff no more. Sweetie, she's talking about hurting because she is working out.
Yes.
That's how these pains are occurring.
Yes.
These pains are occurring because she is working out, sometimes probably too much or leaning too heavy into certain things. So I think maybe you need to diversify your workouts.
I think we are diversifying, though, don't you say?
Now we are. But for a moment, you was lifting heavy. You was lifting hard every day. I'm like, you can't lift every day, man. That ain't how the body works.
But you also have to challenge your body if you're looking to transform. And so Some of what I'm trying to do is I want more tone in my arms and I want to strengthen my legs so I'm not so dependent on, is it my knees or my hips?
What you're saying is you're trying to take the pressure off of your knee by strengthening around the knee.
There we go. So I don't know who said that.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that you always have to lift, though. That's another thing. No. Lifting isn't always the answer.
I didn't lift today.
Yeah.
I didn't lift. I went for a jog.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. That's good for your knee on cement. Did you go up to the track?
No. So what I did was I did my regular. We didn't have a whole lot of time. So I did my regular walk, but any incline I jogged. So I didn't even sprint it. I just jogged.
Right.
We rode bikes yesterday, and so I'm feeling a little bit, on my knee, and it's all good.
We were glad to have you, by the way.
It was fun.
We were definitely glad.
Fun.
Yeah, me and Link were glad to have you.
That was fun. I almost took a spill. But
it happens, man.
Yeah. So it was fun.
Yeah, I like the fact. Well, that part is not, I like that it's not just for us. You know what I mean? Generally he does his workout before, and I use the bike ride to kind of free him and keep him locked in. It's just fun. We have a conversation. I listen to some of the goofy things that that are just on his mind. So I just get to hear him, but also it's strengthening his body. You know what I mean? He doesn't even think about it, but we're getting those legs stronger.
And he seems to like it.
Absolutely.
Even though you almost have to drag him to get started on the.
But once he gets
going, he's
rolling.
Good. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. And I think he liked having me there. He didn't say it, but I think he liked having me there.
Always.
So,
Always. You can tell. Yeah, because he made sure he led. When I'm there, he doesn't always
really? He doesn't
need to lead. But when you were there, it was interesting that it was important that he stayed in front.
My guy.
Yeah.
My guy.
You want to impress his mom. I think that's dope.
Me too.
I think that's pretty cool, man.
Me too. Hopefully we can go for a bike ride.
Yeah.
Tonight.
That ain't happening probably.
Okay.
That's probably ain't happening for me, but we'll see how that goes. I'll probably hop on, but yeah, I lifted today, so I need to chill out. Yeah, I need to chill out. 45, man. My body ain't responding the way it used to.
We are reminded of that.
Yeah.
Often.
Well, I'm sorry.
More often.
Let me my body doesn't recover the way it used to. But that's all right, though, because I'm ordering my ice bath today. I've been putting it off and putting it off. I'm ordering my ice bath today. You know?
Sure.
Help out.
No, thank you.
Okay. Oh, you get in. You get in. Eventually, you got to get in. You got to get in. Got to get in. So let's get to it. Let's have some fun. Yeah.
Temp check?
Temp check.
All right. We're going to do a this or that edition.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to list off some things and you tell me which you prefer.
Copy.
Okay.
Copy.
All right. So get $1 a day or $5 a week?
$1 a day.
Same.
Yeah.
No Wi-Fi or no music?
No Wi-Fi.
Same. Win a vacation or win a car?
Win a car because I can drive myself to a vacation.
Okay. Yeah, my first thought is vacation, but then I was like, no, because I could sell my car.
Right.
Because I don't need it.
Right.
And yeah.
Right.
Anywho, yeah. All right. Lose your keys or lose your ID?
Lose your keys. Even though that's going to be way more of a problem and something you got to solve. This is America. A black man without an ID. Shoot, or better yet, any person of color without an ID, you might mess around and be living somewhere different.
Uh-oh. I was going to choose ID.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I'm just thinking about the fob on my car and having to replace that. No, thank you.
Pain in the butt, right?
Yeah, no.
Right.
ID. So you have an ability to talk to dogs or talk to plants. What would you choose?
Talk to dogs without a doubt.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd choose plants.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They probably cuss me out. All right, last one. Yeah. Build a home or build a desk from IKEA?
Build a home. Without a doubt. It's going to take forever and 1,000 days. But once you do it, the value of having that house is way greater than that IKEA
desk.
Right.
Yeah. Same. Build a home. Nobody wants to deal with those instructions.
Yo, it's something about, I'm like, listen, how much does it cost for you to do it? I'll pay it.
Right.
Because it's just not worth it.
It's not worth the 7 hours.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Yeah, and at this point, the way my back and the way my fingers are designed, yeah, I don't like I said, I don't recover. I'm fine. I can do everything. I don't recover the way I used to.
Not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Yeah. I need my body.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
What are you reading right now?
What am I reading? Well, just the Bible at the moment because I haven't selected another book. I'm supposed to be reading Larry's book, but just my spirit ain't there yet. It's for some reason because I take my time ingesting books, I'm learning about myself. I don't rush through them. I need to ingest them. I was like, well, maybe I'm just a slow reader. Nah, I'm looking for everything. I'm kind of like trying to gain everything from it. I'm not looking behind me or in front of me. I'm like, this is where I'm at, and I want to ingest it for all it's worth. You know, what is the author trying to tell me? Is there a spiritual meaning that's deeper? Because I chose the book on purpose. So stuff like that. So I realize now that when I read books, I'm like, oh, okay, I need a little bit of time before I start a new book. So in the meantime, I've been getting a couple scriptures in there, and you know how I feel about that. I think reading scripture out of context is kind of weird. Okay. You don't read any other book out of context. Context lets you know that there's a story, right?
Right.
So when you pull things out, they might be powerful, but it's out of context. So you can do whatever you want to do with it, manipulate it, use it, falsify it, weaponize it. So I struggle with that. And I generally, as you know, this will be my third time, but I think my third time, I read the Bible like a book. So there it is.
So you just started it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Started it again. I don't know if I'll follow through with the full read before I get to a new book, but until I pick up a new book, that's where I'm at.
That's what you'll read in the mornings.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm reading a couple books right now, but I just had a couple of follow-up questions for you. Like, sure. So when you're doing, like with Viola's Finding Me, that's what you were reading. You read it it took you a few weeks. Do you sit with the book? Like, what I mean by that is, are you doing like processing? Do you go back and like reread a chapter or look at a line or try to get clarity in some space. I'm just curious because I do. So that's why.
Generally, when I am reading during the process, if there's something that's grabbing me that I need to digest, I'm not understanding, I'll just read it again. So if I'm on a page for 15 minutes, I'll just reread the page over and over again.
Oh, okay.
So generally speaking, when the book is over, I probably won't go back to it. But during the process of the reading, I generally lock into something. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? All right, now I need to know what that word means. Okay, now I know what this word means. Let me go back and read this passage again. Why am I not getting it? Why am I not understanding it? So then I have to, because she's an actor. So I didn't know much about theater. So there were some terms that she used that I had to go back during her talking about Juilliard and talking about, Rhode Island, the Rhode Island theater and different parts of the one in New York. And I was like, I don't understand how these things work. Like, do they do this every night? Do they get paid per night? Is it per diem? Like I'm like, oh, this is a profession. Got it. But how do you do it? So when I was doing that, it helped me understand like, you can have multiple contracts at one time. That's why you can hop on a road and go to New York and go to Rhode Island. This is on Sundays. This is on Tuesdays. As long as you're there for your rehearsals and blah, blah, blah. And this is how you get paid. So if people don't show up, you don't get paid. Butts and seats means blah, blah, blah. And this is why it means so much to them to pick the right artists and actors. And this is why they can be so stern because people, I'm like, So yes, to answer your question, if I think I answered.
Yeah, I think, well, yes, what it sounds like is you do a deep dive as you're reading.
And that's why it takes me so long to read books. Yeah.
But there's also this whole like research or aside that you have to do in that process.
In Viola's, it was vocabulary. I was like, I don't know what word this is. I've never heard this word. Is this an SAT word or an ACT word? Like, so it took me a long time to get through that. But, that book was so colorful. The anecdotes and the stories hit home. Not because I'm just black, but you hear these stories all the time. But to hear them come from someone who we see in such high regards, know that she came from such low points and how you don't throw any of it away. You know what I mean? How it all helps. All of it. The beauty in your pain is so, all of that. So I'm looking for multiple streams of knowledge, spiritual knowledge, literal knowledge, and maybe, something else. I'm looking for so many streams. I'm trying to rip this thing apart to see what's in it, and then also it always introduces me to a new person that I care about. Now I truly care about her and her work. So I'm going to be watching a lot of the things
that she puts out.
Right. And generally speaking, that's not what I watch. That How to Get Away with Murder. I'm probably going to end up watching that now. Secret Life of Bees. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That's not really a guy flick, so to speak.
No,
I've never seen
wasn't.
it, but I am going to watch it now.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's good. I watched it and I read the book.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do those things now because now I care about her, and that's how I am about artists, music or any type of artist.
Right.
Once I know about you and I care about you, now I'm here.
Right.
Like, all right, let's get it. But that was a really good book.
It was.
It was a really, really good book. It's one of those books I'll never forget that I read. I'll never forget that I read.
Yeah.
Her stories, her anecdotes, her family, that type of deal.
Yes.
Yeah. I always say that if I see my favorite artist, I would love to tell, what would you say if you've seen your favorite artist and people want autographs and so and such? I would just like to tell them, hey, thank you for your work. You've helped change my life, or you've helped better my life.
Right.
And then pay for your meal. You know what I mean? We pay for your meal type deal.
That's good.
What you reading?
So 2 books. I'm reading a nonfiction and then I'm reading another thriller. Just for balance here. Just for balance.
Balance it out, huh?
Yes.
Balance it out.
I hear you. I'm reading Malcolm Gladwell's Revenge of the Tipping Point.
You know I'm going to knock that out.
Yeah. So I'm reading that.
Tipping Point changed my life.
I know, right? It's been 25 years since that book came out. And I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't realize that it's, been so long. I didn't read it in 2000, but...
Outliers, Tipping Point, those 2 books are pretty,
I think we I think we read them kind of around the same times, 2015-ish or something like that. So they had been here a long time.
Yeah.
But the Revenge of the Tipping Point, it's kind of the same concepts. But now he's just revamped and added certain points that that he's learned in the process. So, you know, the tipping point, or the concept of the tipping point, is like, what kind of phenomenon happens when
that pushes something over the edge from regular to incredible,
exactly,
from basic to worldwide, from right here pinpointed to universal,
right,
universally regarded, a concept, an idea, shoot a vehicle, the advent of something. I really appreciate that book.
And I appreciate the exploration that he does. He does such a good analysis of like data and research, but he is a storyteller, and so he does
at a high level storyteller.
Right, like he does such a good job of of synthesizing all of this data and giving it to you in a way that feels like, oh,
I can understand this.
I can understand it, but like, could I do this?
Right.
Probably can't. Not with his expertise, but from what
I've heard, that is one of the highest forms of flattery, highest forms of regard. When someone does something at such a high level, that the reader, the listener, the person who's ingesting or buying the product wants to maybe even try it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how many of us wanted to be rappers because of our favorite rappers? They made it look so good. Or our athletes that did it so well
effortlessly,
that, effortlessly.
It looks like.
Yeah. I want to try this. And you realize, like, oh, it's not that easy.
Well, it's kind of harder than we thought.
But he makes it look easy.
He does. Yep. Just the way that he'll roll out a thing. There was a roll out an anecdote. You're just like, I'm totally tracking with you. I don't need to rewind, because I do audiobooks, right? So I don't need to rewind this. I don't need, I'm totally tracking with you. I got this. Yeah. And so he did. He actually talks about, one of his anecdotes is like bank robberies and like the history of bank robberies and how there was this influx at a certain point in the 90s. And so then comparing like the big metropolises, right? I didn't need to say big, but the metropolises. And so like how LA and New York have a much higher number than any of the other states, and just like talking about that. So that's a lot of information that's being like sifted. Yep. And he's like giving it to us like, so let me tell you about C Murder, and and he starts to name off these characters, but then these characters become, they're real people. Yeah. But he's telling this in a way that it's like, oh, I'm totally like,
listen, he's giving you a full meal, so you can, like, he's completely absorbed in the idea of his research, and you can tell that whenever a book comes out, it's, you know how they do when you're in theater. He's giving it all, because you can tell this didn't happen in a year. No. The research might have taken a year. And then he starts putting the book together. And then he starts the revisions and the edits and telling the story. And it's like, man, I appreciate thoughtfulness of people who are artists and athletes. Thoughtfulness. That will sell me. Not just a sound, an idea, or a product. The thoughtfulness of it.
Yes.
So I appreciate his thoughtfulness, and he is definitely one of the best social pioneers of our times, straight up and down. And he can tell a heck of a story. And I believe that everything is a story. Everything that we buy, talk like these, we make fun of people who have green. But the truth is that the gentleman wasn't a great human. He wasn't a great people person. But he was able to make a product that spoke to people. Right. And we buy his story, so we buy the product. And it's been people have said it many a time. The Apple product may not even be the best out there, and people know it. If you have another phone or a Galaxy, whatever, they're like, yo, these phones are phenomenal. The cameras are better. The interfaces, But if you don't got an iPhone, you ain't got nothing. And it's all about the story that's being told.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, definitely. Pretty dope. Yeah.
So the other book that I'm reading, a little lighter, I won't get into a whole lot about it, but Laura Dave is the author. She's, I guess, a pretty known author. She does a lot of mysteries, thrillers kind of thing, but it's called The Night We Lost Him. And it's just about a set of siblings who are now trying to figure out how their father passed away.
Oh, dope.
But it's a thriller. It's not. It's so it's a bunch of clues and things like that. It's good. It's really drawing my attention. So,
I'm glad. Yeah. That's awesome. Yo, our bad. Sometimes we nerd out. We do not listen. I know y'all watching and y'all like, look.
Nobody
talk about
cares.
Don't nobody care
about
so sorry. So blicky 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 blicky. Come on back. Welcome back. Blicky 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 blicky. Come on back. All right. Try not to bore you guys. All right. So there's Temp Check. There's the books that we're reading, and I can't wait to get to Malcolm Gladwell. But anyway, is it on me now?
What are you listening to?
Oh, listening to. I'm still on clips. I ain't gonna hold you. I did ingest Freddie. Freddie Gibbs. I'm a hip hop junkie, guys. Yes, I love the Lord, but I am a hip hop junkie because they are the poets of our time. They do things with words that no one else can do. I just got finished talking about books. Duh, I love words. Duh, hip hop, culture, me. All right, so yeah, I'm still on clips.
Okay.
Yeah. Diamonds look like PP. Them dudes delivered so well. That's what I'm on right now. You know what I was this morning? I kind of did not a deep dive, but I was messing with some Tribe Called Quest, which I happen to have my shirt on today. Put me my shirt. I have my Tribe Called Quest. But I'm going to do a deep dive this week and talk about them next week as well, because I think lest we forget how important they are to the culture. Okay. What about you?
So nothing in particular. I'm listening to my peaceful playlist, trying to get into my reflection, quiet productivity bag. So my coach, Stephanie Alva, my Life Keys, gave me a challenge that I have to do. So I'm doing a 7-day mental cleanse. Okay. And so that was in response, like what I was sharing with you. She says that I'm ingesting more than I'm creating, and I'm recognizing that there's a block. And so taking the steps to kind of cancel out some of the noise. Yeah. I probably shouldn't be reading the thriller that I'm reading because I love reading the thriller. And so this is supposed to be a revamp to creativity.
So that's what you're listening to?
So I'm listening to peaceful music. It's in my peaceful playlist, so there's no words. It's just a stream of
instrumentals.
Yeah,
super dope. I'm to help you with that as well. I recognize, just like a lot of you out there, my family doesn't turn off, and this is why meditation. Sorry, losing my words. Meditation is so important. We've gotten away from that since COVID. During COVID, we were definitely, so, for some people, meditation is some type of weird, esoteric, weirdo tree hugger thing. You're just supposed to pray. Well, I think prayer, there's a depth to that as well. There's a depth to that. It ain't just about, because some people don't know how to pray. We will talk about that later. They're asking. God is not Santa Claus. There's something about vocalizing, or even in your mind, inflecting to something greater than yourself. There's something to that. That's why it's so powerful. I think some people utilize prayer to try to change things. And if you want to get real deep and weird, if God is in control, can you truly? Anyway.
No.
I won't go there.
Okay.
But I won't go there. But the meditation piece is different. You're not asking for anything. You're not hoping for anything. You're just
being still.
You're being still. And I think we are definitely a family that has a rough time being still. Our children come home from whatever they're supposed to do, and at that place, they're communicating, they're learning, they're engaging with their tribe and their community, and then they come home to our tribe, and then everybody goes to their separate rooms, and they're on their tablets and their screens, and then the day goes on, and we do it again tomorrow.
Right.
So I want to make sure that we start turning off, because I believe some people are running from that too. They'll try to find ways. Well, I'm meditating when I do this. Do you? I can't tell you what to do. But meditation at its root is nothing. It's stillness. So I'm going to start mandating that we do it as a family, and we'll put 5 and 10 minutes on the clock and then try to like add to that. Because Cheyenne, remember our daughter at one point, she was knocking out like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
was pretty good.
Hard to do for a child to sit still. You know, Russell Simmons, who's quiet on purpose, I believe. But
for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, he talked about this idea of being like a monkey being captured in the wilderness. And that monkey is going to go crazy. But after a while, that monkey is going to realize that it can't go anywhere. This is where I'm at. And that's the brain. Because in your brain, you're my phone, social media, what am I going to eat? Ooh, I got an itch. All these things. Like, why am I itching? It's probably been itching all day, but I don't think about it. But the moment you try to sit still, now you got an itch on your ankle. And what is this? And am I sweating? Or how am I breathing? And I'm like, we got to get back to that. Mm-hmm. To just cutting off every day for a while, completely going, 0 dark 30. You know what I mean? As LeBron does during the playoffs. So,
I'm thinking about Power of Now. I'm thinking about just that book, and and I won't get into all of that, but yeah, Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now is a good one that kind of gets at that not bigger idea, but meditation being an act of being present. And but I also think of like what you're talking about with people, just overall, just having this need to distract.
Right. You know what I believe? I'm not anybody's philosopher, but I believe people are distracting from one thing. And this one thing, and it ain't even that deep, but it is themselves. Because themselves, us, we, I, there is a real thing there. There's a purpose thing. There's an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing, why I'm here, why I exist. I believe that is piled on by other things, distractions, and it's piled upon. And the more you pile upon those things, you can forget, you can think past, you can never have to address the fact that, why am I here? And that why am I here is the reason you... Thank you, Lord. Again, I did it again. What am I supposed to be doing? Right now, of course, I don't believe anybody is here to do one thing.
Right.
That would limit God in a magnificent way. We've got multiple things that we're good at, but purpose, I believe, to be that thing that you're good at, that thing that the world needs, and the thing that can take care of your family. It's somewhere in the middle. And if you find that sweet spot, you'll be doing that thing, but a ton of other things inside of that. So that's why I believe people run away from being still and distract themselves and because if you have to be alone, eventually you have to be alone with yourself.
Yep.
People don't want that.
Yep.
That's heavy.
Right.
That's deep. And it shouldn't be. Right?
We're super deep and philosophical.
Right. Sorry
about that.
Sorry.
Can't wait.
Come on back. Come on back. All right. So here's the deal. Is it on me?
Yeah, knock it off.
Knock it off. Oh, yeah, sure. Easy. I'm a crotchety old man, as my wife says, knock it off. Look at her. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. Listen, my wife calls me a crotchety old man. I've been like this for years.
Yes, he has.
I have been like this for years. I just haven't had anywhere to say it. So if you know me and you love me and you've been close to me, shout out my wife. Shout out people like Bush. They know, Drew. They know. I have my moments where I just be mad at everything. It seems like I'm mad at everything, but it's not. Just I got some things. And my wife, as she calls me, a crotchety old man. So in this segment, Knock It Off, I talk about some things that drive me crazy. And I bet you, if I know any better, it ain't just me.
Probably not.
But I only have a few things, all right?
Okay.
Only have a few things because I want to get into our topic. Hey, knock it off, all right? Knock it off. So let's get to it. So first of all, you super fast car, loud vehicle, engine, 2-3 pipes, car having too fast, too furious people with these cars. Yo, knock it off. Yo, we're not in a race. Yo, there's proper venues to do this. Register your car, prepare your car, get your engines, pay for what you're supposed to pay for, find a raceway or a motorway or whatever it is, a track that they call it, that's organized, and go race your car. But my street or our civilian streets in our neighborhoods, in our communities, is not that place, right? It's not that place.
Right.
More clarity. I'll elaborate.
Go for it.
Around 6:45 every night, there's a gentleman that drives down our street, and he's got one of these too fast, too furious cars, right? And it's loud, right? Matter of fact, I've been standing outside now, and I look him right in his face when he go by. And I'm like, yo, knock it off, fam. And he knows now.
He goes slower.
He go. You know what though? He also knows that he's driving people crazy. He obviously doesn't care. But I now know that it's not about how fast he's going. The speed in which he travels doesn't make his car louder. His car is just naturally loud. Fam, knock it off. And it ain't just him. Sometimes I be in traffic or on the road, and I'm just like, why are your car so loud? Right. Knock it off. Once again, there's proper avenues and venues and places that you can get your rocks off, right? Our neighborhoods are not that. We should not be woken up. Babies should not be awakened. Old people should not be awakened. Our peace and harmony should not be disturbed because you want to be Vin Diesel's extra in Too Fast, Too Furious Part 35. You know what I mean? The sequel of you being an idiot. All right? What are you compensating for anyway? Knock it off, right? And it'd be a hot orange or hot red or green car.
I thought the car was red. It's orange.
But no matter where you see them, there's always a loud car.
Yes.
Right? It's always a loud color car.
It's usually a Camaro of some.
Yeah. Knock it off.
Vehicle.
See?
Yeah.
See? It ain't just me.
No.
Knock it off. Mm-hmm. Knock it off. Driving me crazy, man. I be wanting to slash this dude tires sometimes. But I'm like, you know what? That just means he'll be sitting in front of my house longer than he need to be.
With the car running. Purring.
It's like he sit at work all day waiting. I can't wait. I can't wait. I get to get in my car and drive as fast as I can. You win. Knock it off, chump. All right? Sorry.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry. All right. Now listen. I'm not trying to offend anybody. As my father says, an offense is your choice. You being offended is your choice. I am a man of faith, right? I love my faith, and I try my best not to knock other people's faith. I believe that everybody is seeking to find God, but I also believe that there are people out there who are running from the truth. That's not this pod. But Jehovah's Witness.
Oh.
Hey, fam. I'm not the only one that feels this way. Knock it off. Yo, they park there, and for some reason, you park your car wherever you park your car. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 of y'all because y'all choose our street. Our street is just the street for some reason. And I watch y'all get out y'all car sometimes, and I sit right there in my doorway, and I'm like, here we go. They get out, and they start dispatching. You 3 go that way, and you 4 go that way. And they walking down the street, and they're knocking on doors, or they're waiting to catch people in their lawn, in their driveways, or mowing their lawn, watering their grass, or whatever. And then they hit you with, "Are you aware of Jehovah's Return?" or whatever the new verbiage the intro is. Mm-hmm. Yo, knock it off. I'm sorry to use this word and faith in the same same colorway. But, yo, it's annoying. I am not a theologian, right? But I've read that book a few times because I believe myself to be a faithful man, right? But here's the deal. I don't see nowhere in that Bible that says knock on people's doors and start driving them crazy, all right? You can't push your stuff on people. You cannot. I don't care how much of a smile you... Hi, hello? No, don't warm me up. I don't want to be warmed up. I'm not interested. Leave me alone. Knock it off. I'm not the only one. And particularly on the weekends. Mm. The weekends when generally people work, right? They work, and when they get their downtime, they want their downtime when they're at home. Of course, it makes sense for them to knock on doors when people are home. But fam, knock it off. I don't want my door knocked on. I don't want you to follow up. You know what I mean? I believe what I believe. I'm good. And no, I don't want your flyer. Knock that off too. And also, when I say no to your flyer, that doesn't mean wait for me to close the door and then put it on my car. You kidding me? Knock it off. Knock it off. What's so funny? It's the truth. Yo, knock it off. I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. They got to knock this stuff off. You go too far. That's a Shonta's reference. You go too far. You go too far. But also what I got for today, knock it off. Jehovah's Witnesses, do your thing, but use social media or something. You know what I mean? Drop a postcard or something. You know what I mean? Get somebody's email, but stop knocking on doors and stop acting like no. Knock it off. We don't want to be bothered.
No.
You know what I mean? Because what you're doing is you're messing with the psyche of a human. They don't want to slam the door in your face because they recognize you don't want any money from them. But they also recognizing you're disturbing my peace. Right? You're disturbing my peace. Right? There's another way to get to people. And it ain't at their door all the time. Knock it off. Yeah, so there's my knock it off for today. I could go. I got like 17 more. But we won't do that today.
Okay.
Promise.
Okay.
All right. Am I tripping with the Jehovah's Witness? Am I tripping?
No, you were spot on.
All right. Am I tripping with the Too Fast, Too Furious dudes?
No, because I live it with you every day. It's so funny. I went for my walk this morning, and Jehovah's Witnesses were out, and I was a little caught off guard by it because I was like, it's a Wednesday. But I was bothered, and this is not my knock it off segment, but I was really bothered that they had kids out there too, but not like 10 and 11-year-old. No, these kids were like 5 and 6. They were young, and I'm like, and they were so pleasant, smiling, hi, how you doing? But I sat with it for him. Yeah, I was just like, why is this what these children are doing? Why aren't they at camp? Why aren't they doing something else? Anyway, so.
Yeah, they're going to come for us. That's okay. That's all right. I'm good. My wife loves me. I'm straight.
Yeah.
I'm straight. But knock it off. Knock it off. Yeah. So there's no silky segue after that. All right. You get me all hot. And you see, I'm tingling. My pores in the open. Woo-sa. Goodness. So many stupid things people be doing out here. Be driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I'll talk about Waymo next week. And all of the ride sharing situations.
Waymo.
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
I thought you said like way more.
No, I'll talk about it. I'm just starting to wonder if trying to get people rides, is it alleviating traffic or is it putting more cars on the road, which would cause more
accidents?
No.
Oh.
Traffic.
Oh, traffic.
Are you putting more?
They tend to move a little bit more slowly, but okay. We won't go there. We won't go there. Okay, fine.
But the Waymo cut me off, and I'll talk about it next week.
It cut you off?
It cut me off. And what am I supposed to do? Beep at it? Beep.
So Waymo is the service that, I know we're not talking about Waymo, but some people may not know. Waymo is the service. It's that car like that. It's like an Uber or Lyft, but there's no driver.
It's a driverless
vehicle. There's no driver. So
car service.
And so it's weird to see this little thing
and they are
spiraling above the car. I'm assuming those are the
expanding.
sensors and all of that. Yeah, no, their locations they're like branching out even in LA areas.
I'm not mad at it. I just have some questions. I got more questions than answers. Okay, let's get to it. Yeah. Forgiveness.
Are we talking about forgiveness today, y'all?
Forgiveness. I'll say it one more again. Forgiveness. All right. Hey, we'll have some fun with it, all right? Not trying to offend, trying to entertain, and give some helpful tidbits of information. All right?
Yeah.
Would you like the intro, ma'am?
Sure. So forgiveness.
Sure.
All right. So we're going to be talking about forgiveness today, but I think we're talking about forgiveness mainly because I think it's something that keeps coming up in our own personal lives, right? And understanding how to navigate it both in romantic relationships, so you and I dealing with forgiveness of one another.
Marriage for grown folks. Yep.
Right? But also thinking about what forgiveness looks like in platonic relationships as well. Okay. So this might be friendship. This might be parental relationships, thinking about even our siblings and things like that. So having these really in-depth or intimate relationships with people and being able to okay, I still want to move forward with you.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes it's not as easy as possible just because we have to process through feelings, and that isn't always easy for everyone, right? But also understanding that you may come to a resolve that doesn't necessarily feel healthy or doesn't feel like you might make the decision like, I don't like canceling people, but I might need to cancel my time with
Almost feels
so-and-so.
unnatural.
It does. It can.
Feels unnatural
So,
in certain regards.
Yes.
Certain spaces with certain people.
Right.
I get it.
So I think we're going to talk about it just kind of three-pronged, thinking about romance or romantic.
So romantic relationships, friendship, and then parental.
And parental.
Oh, that's cool. We can knock that out.
Yeah.
All right. So let me give the definition. You know, I like words and I like definitions. Forgiveness. This is the first time I've ever actually seen the definition. Forgiveness is the process of letting go of resentment, anger, and a desire for revenge towards someone who has wronged you. I'll say it one more again. Forgiveness is the process of letting go of resentment, anger, and a desire for revenge towards someone who has wronged you. That lets me know what I've been hearing for years now, and that forgiveness actually has nothing to do with the other person.
Absolutely not.
It has everything to do with you. It's for you. And wow. You know what I mean? I guess when people think about forgiveness, they think about the other person or the wronger, the wronger, and the person who's been wronged.
Right.
So to speak, if we were doing legal terms, the wronged and the wrongee, or what do we say? The
plaintiff or the defendant,
right,
or something of that.
So the wrong
effect.
And the wronged, the wronger. So however you say it, but it's interesting. It has nothing to do with you.
Yes. So I think when we're thinking about what forgiveness looks like, absolutely, you're correct, right? It has nothing to do with you, but it has everything to do with how you respond to that person moving forward. And I think that when you're having to forgive someone, it takes you a long time to figure out that it's not on them anymore.
It's on you. Everything is on you. Everything is all right here. But we're not. To illustrate it for me, whenever I hear someone talk about forgiveness in whatever arena, or whatever the context may be, talking about forgiveness, my brain, my illustration always goes to a child on the playground in like third grade, right? Or whatever grade, elementary. And you've got two parties. You got two kids playing, and whatever happens, whether it's physical or whether it's verbal, right? Something happens, and then an adult finally addresses this thing, right? And usually the adult is going to say, and I remember being younger, and this is wrong and this is wrong, and they get both parties. What happened? And then what happened? And they make a decision there because they are the authority in the moment. And usually I remember being younger saying, either having to say to someone, I'm sorry. Right? You know what I mean? You don't want to do it. I'm sorry. And the other person is like, it's okay. And then y'all go back to playing. Well, it ain't always that simple, right? Because now that I think about it now, it really makes you think about, like, that was one heck of a moment, whether it was 30 seconds or 3 minutes. Something happened. There was a conflict. Yeah, the conflict was seen by somebody of authority, right? In this case, the authoritarian or the person of authority tries to resolve it, all right? Whether someone is being punished or whether they're going to go about their business, right? But someone has to say, I'm sorry. So when I think of forgiveness illustrated in my mind, there's always a I'm sorry, and then there's someone who says, it's okay, and you move on. Lord have mercy. Boy, do we know that it's way more complicated.
Definitely.
Than that.
Definitely.
Because, the idea of being contrite, the idea of accepting forgiveness, the idea of, it's so deep. But isn't it funny how the way we were taught when we were younger is so wrong or so short-sighted?
Short-sighted. I think that's a better word because I think in that, like, on the playground type situations are teaching children how to have a level of contrition, right? So that's, for me, I'm like, yes, very short-sighted, but as you get older, like most things, there's a different level of responsibility, and then there's also a different level of understanding.
Yeah,
right.
I'm going to put put the real quick pin because I have the definition of contrite here.
Oh, okay.
Contrite, because the people, I'm telling you, people don't think about this stuff. What forgiveness truly means. What contrition or contrite, being contrite. Contrite, feeling or expression, remorse or penitence affected by guilt. It's a lot happening there. All right. Feeling or expressing remorse or penitence affected by guilt. A broken and contrite heart. It's interesting because back to our illustration, the one kid who's done the wronging is being now said, I'm sorry. Are they really contrite, or do they just want to go back to playing, or are they embarrassed? You know what I mean? Like, are they truly contrite?
Yeah, there can be a layer of feelings. And sometimes it is as simple as like, oh, I accidentally bumped you and now you fell and you scraped your knee, or, you know, you've got a bruise on your face or something like that. And it was totally my fault. But yeah, there might be some embarrassment or whatever the case may be. But just that process doesn't always feel like the right way to go about it.
Right, there's a true resolution. Right.
And so I think in schools, they've done this whole thing with like SEL, like socio-emotional learning and restorative practice and all of that, where it's like, I want to hear you, and now I want you to hear what I've just heard you say, and then vice versa. So there's this kind of back and forth dialogue that happens to help to kind of build up better understanding and hopefully like touches some of those layers.
Go ahead, educator.
Yeah. So
17 years.
So I am saying that because
and sped credentialed.
So I think that
with a master's.
Oh my goodness. So when I'm thinking about that, I'm like, yes, that is the newer age or the newer like level of depth that researchers have done to support how to actually say, okay, it's not you say sorry, and now let's come to this like easy resolve, right? So those are some of the practices that from the work that I've done just looking at forgiveness and even thinking about our experience in romantic relationships of like how to then forgive. There has to be some level of reciprocity, I think. I mean, and I don't want to get into like, you need to, and you, and then, and that, but just thinking about when we have, it's not a disagreement. That's not what I'm talking about. To me, that's 9 times out of 10, that's miscommunication or something like that. No, it's like when something has happened, there's a decision that has been made either on my end or yours. And now there's this, it shifted our dynamic. It shifted how we can move forward.
Yeah. All right. So great.
Yeah.
We laid a good foundation there.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and let's knock it out.
Yeah.
Let's go at layer 1.
Cool.
Let's let's say the entry level is just being a human with other humans, and let's talk about friendship.
Okay.
All right. Friendship. All right. What would a friend need to forgive a friend for?
A friend might need to forgive another friend for not being available. Like, I called you, I need to talk to you. There's something that's really pressing me. I need your shoulder right now. And the friend might have acknowledged it and not been available and really hasn't been available. And now the person who reached out to the friend is just like, okay, well, you must not care about me. Which is not necessarily maybe the truth. It could be, could not be, but we don't know.
Right. There is no, from the illustration earlier, there's no authority. There's no person of authority there to say, give me your hand and give me your hand.
Like,
you got
and
two
let's connect.
quote unquote adults that might be friends or young adults for that matter that are trying to negotiate and navigate this forgiveness thing. You know what I mean? Because we talked about this. One person might truly feel like I didn't do anything. I didn't wrong you. You know what I mean? And another person is like, no, you definitely did. So we're all set.
Right. And that's the shift in dynamic.
That's the shift.
That's
and you know what I believe to be the thing that mandates the understanding of forgiveness and being contrite? Wanting to continue the relationship. There's sometimes that people are like, listen, I do not want to continue this. So this is the final straw. It might even be the first straw, but it's the final one because I don't want to continue this. I've been offended in a way that I will not allow you to recover from.
Or I want to protect myself from.
I want to protect myself from.
Right.
Yep. And there's that. So I get what you're saying. Yeah. You know, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What would happen in a parental situation that would require forgiveness? Give me an example.
So a parent might, you want like mid-level, low-level, high-level?
Shoot, champ.
I got a lot of options.
Shoot, champ.
Okay, so let's just go like mid-level. Maybe a parent wasn't. I don't want to use the example of available again, but maybe a parent wasn't hearing their child or wasn't considering their child's feelings. And
oh no, you ain't got to even go any further.
Okay.
We grew up, with black parents, and minority parents or brown and black parents.
They were not
parents.
thinking about our feelings.
We grew up a different world. We grew up in a different space, a different time. Children are to be seen, not heard. And because I said so, right?
Exactly.
But all that truly means, and I'm not shooting bail here. I'm trying to really rip this thing apart and recognize that we're learning. We've made it our duty to learn more, not just via wisdom, which is just life learning, but we've really lived and worked in spaces where it's like, oh, I got to figure this thing out. I got to learn a little bit more about it. And what we're learning is that our parents are only responsible for what they know or what they gained, their information. But when we say that we lived in a different time, like I was like the last of the generation of spankings and beatings, right? And I ain't mad about it.
Okay.
I'm also a generation that was like, because I said so, right? And I ain't mad about it, right? That's where we were. Doesn't make it right, but that's where we were. And I think that plays a major part in how people forgive. They don't recognize a time and a time frame, which really represents a mindset in your your guardian. So a mind state or a lack or whatever they may have. So their toolbox is where their toolbox is. And then you flash forward 30 years, but you're still looking at them in the same way. So actually, y'all perfect for each other. You know what I mean? Because y'all both looking at something in an antiquated idea and with antiquated eyes, in old eyes. Well, the truth is, when you get information, you get new information, you got to use that. So,
well, that's an assumption. That's an assumption, right? Like you were thinking that because, like we said earlier at the beginning of the episode, right? You are in a space where you are open to learning. You are always
lifelong learner.
Exactly. Yeah. And so because that is your method, that is how you move, it's going to be easier for you to trial and error or to like
I'm
shift.
More receptive.
You're just receptive to that.
Got it.
Right. So for our parents, I'm just going to speak specifically for my parents. Yeah. That's going to take a lot longer for them to manage. I know, like you said, I grew up in a space too where it was like you were seen and you weren't and not heard.
Right.
I mean, we could share our opinions. Didn't mean it was going to change anything, but you would say it, get it off your chest. Go ahead.
Go and get that off.
Yep. Go ahead. Uh-huh. Okay. Now go to your room.
Right.
And sift through whatever it is that you're dealing
with. Or
what
was the vernacular? Think about what you did.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Go in that room and think about what you did.
So there's no accountability on the other end.
It's humorous, but it's true.
It is the truth. And so when you have enough of that you're being fed as you get older, and again, there's layers and depth and all of these other things that happen. So you're now in a space where something hits the fan with your parents.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know how you about to move.
I know what's
You've already shown me who you are. You've already shown me how you operate. And so now I have to do certain things so that I can get to a place of whether I want to tap back in with you more regularly or if I want to just take my space.
Yep. And, going a little further or maybe a little further, the truth is, I think none of us make it out alive. That's what we say. No one's going to get out alive. Every child is going to say that they've had some issues with their parents.
Right.
And I think that's why God says, you'll become a parent too. And now you get to learn for yourself. No one's perfect. Mm-hmm. We're imperfect. Mm-hmm. I'm imperfect, right? But you do the best you can. And that's the difference, I believe. Doing the best you can. we believe that our best isn't just what we were raised with and handed down. We believe our best is also learning more because there's more data, there's more information out there, and being a little more malleable regarding our children.
Right.
So I think that's the difference, is that what is your best? All right. So we're not talking about being parents right now. So,
but we're talking about parental relationships.
Right. So the next layer. So we got the bottom level, just being friends. We've got the next
bottom.
Sorry, like a what do you call it? Like a pyramid.
Okay.
So because you're gonna be, some people won't be parents, and some people won't be in marriages and relationships, but they will definitely be friends. So we started at friendship, and then we progressed to the parental idea of forgiveness. Can you give me an example of how a relationship or marital situation would require forgiveness?
An example of infidelity.
Right, which is usually where we go.
Yeah, that's typical. Right? Yeah, that's typically what it is.
That's what sells books.
That's what sells books.
The gardener was outside.
Got hot and
you can hear the saxophone.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that when I was thinking and just kind of prepping for this episode, that was the first thing I thought of, like infidelity. Okay, great. And so, I mean, we could get in and start to try to sift through, like, whoa, was it emotional? Was it physical? Like, what was
the nuance? We ain't got 5 hours.
So we're not gonna do that. So we're just gonna talk about having to identify how to manage infidelity. Well, forgiveness. Sorry. Misspoke. But just wanting to think about how to forgive someone when you feel like you've been wronged.
Yeah.
In your romantic relationship.
Okay. So okay. I like that.
Yes.
I like you good. You
sometimes.
You Doc, you're good, You're good, You're good. What movie is that? Come on. Doc.
We've done this before.
You're good.
Analyze this.
Or that.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like, analyze.
That's a sleeper of a movie. Analyze this and analyze that. Sleeper of a movie. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that there's a few steps to like how we process through forgiveness.
Okay. Let's get to it. Let's help people out.
So yeah. So the first thing is to like acknowledge what it is that you're hurt by. Boom. That's number one. Then feel the feelings. Boom. And be able to like recognize that those feelings are valid. Boom. That's just a caveat of the number two. But number three is being able to empathize. So even in infidelity, I'm not, no victim shaming here or anything like that. But like oftentimes I think depends on men and women, but having an understanding like, well, what is going on that he has stepped out, or what's happening in our relationship that is
causing this rift, this distance.
Right. Yep. Again, not taking blame from whomever, but just taking accountability or like checking in to figure out like what's really going on. Some people are definitely going to be like, nothing. Okay. He just can't keep it in his pants. But, that's neither here nor there. Mm-hmm. But I assume.
Are you insinuating that let's get to the root of it?
Let's.
You know what I find interesting?
What?
I don't want to mess this conversation up, but I knew we would get here. I felt it. Mm-hmm. And I said, when we get here, I want to make sure I don't forget. Mm-hmm. I'm not messing with you for the sake of messing with you.
That's fine.
What's the difference between the friendship, the parental, and the marriage part? And even with the parental one, it's going to feel odd. It's going to feel really, really odd. Like, what? But why is it that the first thing that we do is let's get to the root of it at the marriage? Why is that? You know why?
Why? No, I'm like, is this a pointed question?
No.
Okay.
It's a bravo to the institution of marriage because it's till death do us part. But parents are, but our friend, leave to cleave. All right. At the end of the day, boom, boom. Yes, you're parents forever until you're not parents anymore. But when you marry, there's a little something extra that God put on it because you've taken these vows, right? And now the best way to heal is to get to the root of it because there is no door out. You're not even supposed to build a door to get out. It happens. Divorce happens.
I was going to say, people get divorced all the time.
Irreconcilable differences happen. Disrespect happens. Lying, cheating happens. And people divorce at 51%. At somewhere around that.
Right.
But there's something about that marriage thing that says, if we want to keep it, let's get to the root.
Right.
What would happen if we had that at all the other two bases? Well, it doesn't, because it's not marriage. You see what I'm saying? And this speaks to the beauty of the institution of marriage and why people are trying to minimize it and, make it a monster or make it something that's not even important anymore. That's why the marriage thing is so good. So,
or you think it doesn't have a different value. So I don't think that that's what you're trying to say.
It mandates you go to war. Some other relationships is like
mandate.
It should mandate, but the other relationships is like, hey, I love you. This is the best I can do. But war is different. You gear up. You bullets. Because why, my love? Both of you have decided we keeping this. Isn't that funny? When you decide to forgive.
Perfect.
Because that's what we're talking about.
Perfect.
When the party that's wronged says, I'm going to forgive and we're going to move forward, because we're going to talk about that too. Because we were in the car talking about that. Two separate things happening. Just because I forgive you does not mean that we move forward.
Right.
Right? The relationship might be scarred forever, but I've forgiven you because I got to be able to go to sleep at night. And I can't be carrying this thing around. But that does not mean because I forgave you, put her there, that we, you know what I mean? Nah, we're not doing that.
Right.
Sometimes.
Exactly. No, definitely sometimes. And I think you're speaking some real gems right now. But I don't think people are all going, and I know this is an assumption or a generalization, but I just don't feel like people are marrying with the same idea in mind, or how they start is not necessarily how it ends. Yeah. And because of it, they're not really choosing to do a whole lot of work.
And some people who are watching are going to say, that's because you guys are, because you can speak it, because look, the truth is, man, we've been through it too.
We have. It's
been almost 20 years. You don't think that we didn't see everything? Like, we've seen almost everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And crossed.
And in all transparency, there was a moment of like, are we going to divorce?
Right.
Twice.
Right.
Twice in our marriage. So So that it's like, how do we forgive? How did we decide to forgive in those instances? So let me go ahead to number 4. It's like setting boundaries again. So you empathize, but then 4 is like setting boundaries, determining like what you're okay with, what you're not okay with said person. Number 5 is make it a process. So you might like relinquish some of the boundary or some of that shield or that covering of protection as you begin to reestablish trust. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to expect an apology. So that's number 6.
Okay.
And then number 7 is working to rebuild. And that's after you've made the decision, like, okay, we want to stay married.
Okay. So I want you to run through all 7 without me interrupting. So
okay. All right. So number 1, you want to acknowledge the hurt. 2, feel whatever those feelings are. 3, empathize. 4, set boundaries. 5, make it a process. 6, don't expect or wait for an apology. And then 7 is rebuild.
Ooh,
yes.
That's heavy hitters. That's heavy hitters. Suckers.
And this is
heavy.
This was from.
That's heavy.
I'll have to get the person that
okay.
Yes. That I just consolidated some of those.
Yeah, cite your source.
That set of ways.
All right, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. We'll get that up on the screen too.
Definitely.
Make sure we get that up on the screen. That's heavy. That's heavy. Wow. And you know what's funny is doing the work with my therapist, I'm going through all 7 as you say them, and I'm like, she was walking me through all of those. Now, they weren't all pertinent to my situation, but she was walking me all the way through these things. And, she was, teaching me that the pillars, some of these things, if you add your morals and your values, those things are actually designed and they're built somewhere between the ages 7 and 10, she said.
Right.
That's where you start to build these pillars of what you're going to operate under. This is my code of ethics. Now, this is based on your environment. This is based on your family, your faith, you know what I mean, the things that you subscribe to.
Right.
Now, you put those pillars up and you walk around with these pillars and you engage in these relationships, right? We're talking about friendships, we're talking about parents, we're talking about marriage, right? But there's also other things. There's teams and communities and tribes that you will subscribe to, you know what I mean, groups that you'll be a part of, but you walk around with these pillars. And what she taught me was that your moral code was built when you were 7 to 10. It may not be valid anymore. So you're engaging with other humans on whatever level, friendship, parents, marriage, and both of you had these morals, codes, and ethics, right, that were built when you were 7 to 10. Of course, there's going to be conflict, right? So when you give me those 7 things of how to go about forgiving, right, it shows where the conflict could happen.
Right.
Your pillars, these things might not agree.
No.
I don't agree. And we both, now as you say it, you're teaching me. I'm like, I know a ton of people. I'm like, that's why they can never forgive.
So for me, I think just looking at that list, the hardest part for me to get to, it's not so hard anymore, but in the past was the expectation of an apology. We
talked about this.
Yeah, I needed an apology at one point, and then had to learn that I needed to relinquish that. Like I needed to just get rid of that because I didn't believe that the forgiveness was really for me. Do you know what I mean? Like initially it was like, I need it, but I need it from you. So I'm giving you the power to basically determine like how we're going to move forward.
You didn't realize there was more to it.
There was more to it.
See?
And so now I can say like in specific, so I'm going to kind of jump back to parental relationships. You and I both know, like I've had a very kind of tumultuous last like 7 years with my relationship with my parents.
Right. It's evolved.
It has definitely evolved, but it's evolved because I've come to terms with certain things. And because I have come to terms with those things, I can then go, you know what? I said I didn't need an apology, but now I know in my heart of hearts that I don't need an apology because I'm not looking to you for those things. And that's not me tossing them away. That's not that. It's not me forgetting what was or what has happened. It's me saying, like, when I forgive them, I don't carry that weight anymore. And so for, you know, like now it's like it's not the best of relationships, but I can call them up, and I couldn't do that before. Or I can call them and actually like share a joke or share, you know, a little something that's going on and not feel like, okay, but is he going to say something now?
Got it.
You know what I mean?
I understand. So for me, I would say the toughest thing for me of the 7 would be the empathy part. But that's here now. Almost so much so that people don't understand it.
Okay.
I've talked about my interaction with one of my brothers when I was out of town, trying to get him to understand where my heart is and how I'm designed. My father is a leader of people. I'm a leader of people. That means that that empathy is always in action. Whether you like it or not, you're designed that way. You're empathizing. You're not, when people say they love to use the therapy terms incorrectly, you're, when you feel for other people.
An empath?
Yeah, you're an empath.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, I'm not an empath, fam. Don't put me there. I can empathize, which helps me be who I am.
Okay.
At my core.
Okay.
So when I was dealing with my forgiveness, you know, of my mom, you know what I mean, I was young. I mean, we're talking years ago when I got through that, and I didn't need therapy for that. But what helped me was like, I hadn't gotten some information yet, but I was like, people go through things. They don't just come out of the womb a certain way. You have to arrive by way of your journey, by way of your pain. By way of your trauma, right? It doesn't just happen like that. And when you're going through your stuff, you make decisions. Some of those decisions mean making children, making community, buying things that you probably shouldn't buy, introducing yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit to things that you don't know about yet, but you give it a shot. But life goes on and things are affected by that. How am I any different? yes, my life revolved around basketball and it gave me discipline to a next level. But I've cheated. I've lied. I've made bad decisions. I've come across things that I probably shouldn't have, been a part of, but was able to find my way out of. Somebody was praying for me somewhere. Some way my discipline allowed me to get my way out of this thing. So when you see yourself as another human, empathy, it goes across the board. Your pastor, your priest, your mama, your father, your uncles, your coaches,
they've all fallen short.
They've all fallen short because they're still evolving as humans or not evolving as humans. But either way, when they had their shot with me in raising me, they were giving it what they thought was their best.
Right.
All right. And they were going through their stuff. That allowed me to throw forgiveness out, like one for you, one for you, one for you. And even more so now, I can illustrate it now, where I don't even mandate or even need forgiveness. So if there's someone out there, if you ever do me dirty or have done me dirty, you're forgiven already. It's already there. You don't even got to say it, because the truth is,
That process is so fluid
I've already processed it, which means I've empathized with you. But that doesn't mean that I will always move forward in the way it was before.
Okay.
The boundaries are there, not for you, for me. I'm learning that there's people in my life that I have to let go simply because I will never let them go. Why? Because I empathize and I forgive them because they don't have the ability to provide me with what I need. But because I love them and empathize with them, unless I put a boundary there, I'll continue to reach for them. Because that's who I am.
Exactly.
Hyper aggressive, you know me. If you push me there, I'm a lion. You gotta, you know this. You have to bring me down. If someone gets me there, it takes people to pull me out of that room. You don't want me in that room. That's not the room I like. I don't want to be there ever again, right? Ever. So I no longer even require forgiveness because I truly empathize, and that was hard for me. Once I got the empathy part, everything else rolls downhill.
Okay.
So my boundaries are there. And this is why people, a lot of people have said this. Steve, when I'm around you, is your phone on silent? I jokingly say I don't even know how to put my phone on silent. I don't, because I've put up boundaries, whether I spoken them or whether I just live it. People know if it ain't really about business, or you're truly you love me and you're part of my world, my phone don't be ringing all day long. Social media stuff will hit the notifications, but the reason I've obviously put up this barrier, this wall, don't mess with Steve. Just don't mess with him. They know what it is, and that takes work. It takes work. So I think, sorry, I'm going on and on. Empathy for me.
No, you're okay.
Yeah.
I think you said a whole lot, and I was gonna.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna kind of branch off and talking about why forgiveness and parenting can, for our parents, can always be so. It can be really challenging, or it can be really complicated.
Go ahead, because I did the work already.
Okay.
And you did the work too.
I did.
So go ahead, set it off.
Okay, I was just gonna say, because there's this power imbalance, right? There's you don't
not
think...
in my situation.
Okay. So for me, I think that there's this imbalance of power, the assumption, you're the adults. You're supposed to, I'm the kid, even though we were all adults. But there's just this social hierarchy that we've got, this unspoken thing where I expect that as I'm growing and I'm elevating, I'm expecting you to do that too. And so when you wrong me in a way that feels very juvenile, I'm like, what's going on here? What's up with, you're supposed to know better. But I also think if you're growing up in a home where, again, there's this power imbalance. And so there's the parents, and then there are the children, and seen and not heard, and all that other stuff, right? We also have this lifelong impact. So this feeling of, now my esteem is really low because I'm waiting for you to validate me, or you didn't say this enough. And so now as I'm an adult, I'm trying to do this, but I never really learned how to love what I'm doing or feel confident in a certain space, right? And so then when you have parents that are like dropping the ball, and I'm not talking, I'm just saying
power imbalance.
that's what I'm getting at. So
That's
why it feels so
good.
uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah, for me, I didn't have a power imbalance. My parental unit, I joke and we humorously say this, my mother, my father, I have a stepmother as well. I love her. That's my mom. But my birth mom and my birth father, they're both rebels. They're both rebellious entities, and they stand on their square. So, yeah, I knew who the parent was. If my father raised his voice to I knew what it was. I knew how to step around him. I knew what he stood for. But my thing for him was never about whether the hand was going to hurt when he hit me, bow, or whether his verbal whatever was going to hurt me, bow, or whether For my father, it was, I know what he stands on. His faith was the core of his balance. So I knew how to move around that. I knew when I was in trouble, even when I didn't know when I was in trouble, which gave me, I know it sounds crazy, it helps a child know how to move. I know how to move around him. Even to this day, I know how to move around him. My mom, you know what I mean? More of the aggressor physically. And that's where I get my kind of like my bravado from. Like, I kind of knew how to move around her. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I might get punched in the chest. All right. I might, you know what I mean? She might call me, say like, boy, you better I ain't raising no little boys here. I'm raising a man. I remember her saying, I ain't raising no little punk. You know what I mean? So for her, I knew how to speak up.
Okay.
That's where that comes from. Like, you not gonna disrespect my mother. You not gonna, even if she gets it wrong, she gonna shoot bullets and she'll pick up the pieces later. So that's interesting that you say the power imbalance. I didn't deal with power imbalance. I just kind of dealt with a fractured family from two young people and all of the things that come along with being young and misstepping and, moving into a purpose. That's all it was. I know it sounds crazy, but as I got older and more mature, that empathy, once I figured it out, that was easy. But it was learning how to put my guards up.
Let me ask you a question. How much do you think social or religious cultural push was it for you to want to honor thy parent or thinking so
it's a great question. I know exactly what you're saying. The faith-based part, both of my family, both sides, were faith-based. Even my stepmother going to faith. So my parental unit was all faith-based.
Okay.
All sides of my grandparents are saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. They step a certain way. They honor God via Christ. Let's say that, right? But I believe being younger, my father's a pastor. It's different than just attending church, right? It's different. And I think what that did was it forced me to look at the machine now, not the community. So when we uprooted from one church and my father started his, I was 13. I'm already who I am. They say by the time you're 7, you're pretty much rooted in who you were. Now, faith is a part of who I am, but it ain't all I am. I'm sorry, going to church ain't all I am.
Correct.
And what I learned was like, there's a culture here, but there's a culture everywhere. Basketball, football, if you're a rapper, if you're a dancer, singer, you do fashion, there's a culture everywhere. What I learned was that I thought that the faith or the church was the root of the faith, only to find out years later that the faith was the root of the church. I believe wholeheartedly that a lot of people in the church that I grew up in are living it in reverse. It's upside down.
Okay.
It's church first, faith last, right? But to answer your question directly, my father was rebellious even in that.
Okay.
When he opted out of Grace Pentecostal, which was a designation, into Grace Worship Center. Oh, no, this is a Bible-centered, faith-based church where we teach from that word. And some of the culture pieces, I'll give you in doses. I'll give you the culture, but we don't do culture first. That was what he was going for.
Oh, okay.
That showed me even then, you don't got to believe in nothing that you don't believe in. You got to believe in that center, which is your faith. So even with that being said, I don't think that evolved me like it evolved other people.
Okay.
It didn't. I was able to move because I said, it's not what I thought it was. And my father showed me that, who was the center of the faith in my family. I'm like, oh, it don't work like that.
So I think that's awesome that you're saying that, because I didn't grow up with, none of it was faith-based. Faith was not at the center of our core. I mean, I
you
went
would
to
say
church.
God every now and again, and you would pray every now and then.
And you might go to church a few times out of the year.
Yeah.
But it was never with my parents. It was always with a grandparent that I went, or an aunt, or someone else. It was never with my parents. And for me, I think because there was such a power imbalance that the idea of honoring thy parents was even stronger. That's why I asked the question, because I was curious.
Ooh, so I walked right into that one.
No, it wasn't. I promise it wasn't pointed. I wanted to get an idea so that we could kind of compare. Because in our home, it really was like, I am the parent, you are the child, and so I might do something wrong, and you don't get to question me about it. But I am a rebellious child. I challenge. That's what I have always done. Yeah. So
I will say this based on my reading and my life wisdom. I am not a professor in this part, because there's a difference between learning something and having wisdom, which means you lived it. Generally speaking, people with power issues are people who've been hurt. They've had something stripped of them.
Correct. Yeah.
Regarding power in their world. So they paint it where they can, and it's usually a heavy base of paint.
It's thick.
It's thick.
The lacquer is thick.
The lacquer is thick.
Got it. Yes.
Which allows me to say what? Empathy. That doesn't make it right or wrong. You felt. You've been through what you've been through. There is a fallout of that. There is a manifestation of the misstep of the power imbalance.
Right.
But for me, it's like, empathy. And I know it sounds crazy, but when I empathize, you know how people say, just picture them naked and you can say anything. When I picture empathy, it makes people become children to me. It pushes adults with gray and they're grizzly, whoever you are, even, you know, your whatever your body looks like. It pushes an illustration in my head of a child. Oh, and I'm just like, oh,
exactly. It definitely does. It definitely does that. And that's why I say the last 7 years have been really pivotal, because it has allowed me to finally have empathy, because I think my rebellion just wouldn't allow it. And because of that power imbalance, it was like, no, I need you to apologize, because I want there to be a shift in the power. And then it wasn't happening. And then it was just like, okay, it's not going to happen. And that is okay, because I've done all of the other things. I've set the boundaries. And now, like, I love just a quick segue. Like, I love a story where the villain, we get the backstory on the villain.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. The root. I love those stories. The prequels are what they're called.
Right.
And that's why that Joker movie, I don't know if you've seen it.
I have.
It is phenomenal.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, he didn't just, you empathize. You want to give him a hug. You know what I mean? I just want to jump through. And I tell you, you know, sometimes I know it's not relevant, but Drake and all of this stuff that's happening, like, it's almost like he's naked now. And it's almost like, I'm like, I just want to give homie a hug. Like, all the corniness and all the stuff that you're doing, it's like, oh, you're dueling. You're a human too. You're going through stuff. But now people see it. Generally speaking, people don't see your stuff.
Until they do a reality show and you're like, please.
No. I mean, as humans, because not everybody's on a platform where they can be seen. So your boss, your cousins, your friends, your moms, your pastor, whatever, they don't get to the opportunity to put their stuff out on blast like that. So they get to walk around with this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, you got stuff. Who
hurt you?
Who hurt you?
Come here.
Come here. Yeah, come here.
I don't have a good bosom, but come here. Let me give you a big, yeah. So
dap you up and then give you boundaries. Yeah, so I was wondering, No, we can't do that. No, we're not doing that, fam. Yo, it's good to see you though. And you start, you know how I back out of stuff. My man, yo, tell your mother I said hello.
And he, and he's out. Yep.
So if you've ever seen me do that to you, you know what it is.
Right.
You know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, yes, I don't even know how to transition right back into the conversation. But
you see me do it because you see me do it.
Yeah, I definitely.
If I don't rock with you, I don't rock with you. I don't got to throw rocks at you to rock with you. I should have been a rapper. See, that's why I love. I don't got to rock with you. You'll know. You'll know, and it don't got to be beef. I've set my boundaries. I've done the work. If I'm no longer speaking to whatever, you don't need to ask for forgiveness or apologize. I'm good. You obviously don't have something that I need. Would sound selfish, but I wasn't always this way. And a lot of people aren't this way. You need what you need for you to make it in this world. The people that you choose in your life from whatever category, friends, family, marriage, you need what you need for you. So when you're moving about your life, going from tribe to tribe or community to community, work, business, whatever it is, relationships, if that entity cannot provide you with what you need so you can continue to grow and be the best you must walk away. Shout out to my therapist.
Lona too.
Better help.
Okay, so let's segue then to romantic relationships.
All right,
and how to. We don't necessarily have to divulge like our stuff, but like how do we work through something like that? Like we can talk about parent stuff because that's easy. We can talk about friendship stuff because it's easier to talk through. But like when we're talking about our marriage and the moments where like things were just coming to a head and we had to establish like, okay, what are we doing and how are we moving forward? Yeah. Or are we saying it's a wrap?
Yeah, see, in our marriage world, I would say that people do with different things. We never had a lack of respect for each other in our marriage world. You know what I mean? Usually when, there's a root, we've always respected each other, right? Even in our growth and maturity. We got married at 26, which is now, old for some people.
I was 25.
Well, I was 26, but we were relatively young for some people.
Right.
Right? So
I think it was young.
Yeah.
I think it was young.
So we were young, but we never disrespected each other. There are, regarding people like dudes and girls cheating, there are people that are just disrespectful. There is nothing at the root. They're at the root. They're unpolished.
They probably shouldn't be married.
And they probably shouldn't be married. That's a real thing, right? But for the most part, you're dealing with things that finances. You're dealing with children. You're dealing with health. You know what I mean? We know people who've lost relationships based on all of those things. Right? And those are the things, and thank God that we're not dealing with health. And we make sure that we thank you, Lord, for not having to deal with that. But we've had to deal with some financial things. And in that moment, I'll say it, I thought I had to forgive you. I thought for a moment, we talked about, you said it. You was like, oh, you don't believe in him. We were watching a movie. And the woman had stopped believing in the man or something like that. What movie were we talking about?
It's Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness, yeah. We were talking about Brown Sugar. But we were talking about Brown Sugar, how ultimately Reese didn't believe in Homeboy's dream. You know what I mean? Ultimately, right? And no matter what you do, he's going to opt out because he's a dreamer. And if you don't believe in him, you don't believe in his dream, good luck with that. It'll never be. But for me, there was a transition happening. And I love this because when we start not counseling people, but when we start putting we're able to talk to some other people and some panels and, different conferences, I definitely want to bring up the fact that, sometimes it's layered and it's nuanced. And just speaking from that moment where we had, you're like, yo, you got to bring in some more bread. You know what I mean? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But I was not going back to school. I'm like, that's not a thing. We can't afford an additional $50,000 bill to go hopefully make $30,000 more from what I'm making. But I'm not sitting on the sticks and on the couch just taking a nap. I was en route in transition, from being a professional, which no one talks about, being a professional athlete and then just jumping out on your own. And it's like, well, what now? Because I've never thought about anything else. That was plan A, plan B, and plan C. But that portion of my life is now gone. But I've married and I have a child and I'm living in a new state. And it wore on you, flat out. It wore on you. You know what I mean? The the fact that you had to go earn, that you had to go fight to earn. It wasn't like it was easy. It wasn't like it was around the corner. Your job wasn't around the corner.
We had one car, so I was on public transportation. Like, you add all of those details.
You got a frustrated, angry, bitter woman who's just probably playing with the idea of resentment. You know what I mean? But here I am saying, okay, that I'm not a cheater. You know that I'm not a cheater. You know I don't disrespect you. You know I'm a man of faith. You know I love my children. You know I love you. You know I'll do this. And you know I'll take care of my body. You know that like all these things. I'm like, I need time, champ. If you give me time, because I'm doing this thing. I'm fasting. I'm praying. I'm working on this. I'm working on that. I'm you know what I mean? I'm taking odd end jobs to show you where I am. Like, hey, I'm going to get there, but for now I got to take these little jobs, blah, blah, blah. Offering, like peace offerings. But yet it was still coming back every 30 days. Like, yo, I hear you, but I'm hurting too.
Because our bills never...
Right. We had more bill than we had month. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So in that moment, it took a couple of years.
Month than money.
More month than money. Mm-hmm. So I had to forgive you because it wasn't for you, it was for me. And I was like, oh, I felt at the time that she doesn't believe in me. And if she gets behind me and rah-rahs me, but then I thought for a while, when have you tried something, an event, a function, a new venture that she hasn't said go? And I'm like, she's never not said go. And I was like, so she doesn't not believe in me and my dream. Got it. So what does she need? Okay, she needs this. So let me go put forth this. And then once it manifested, it wasn't like, I told you so. No. It never was that. It was like, you were still maturing in your idea of marriage, money, relationships, and that helped me empathize. Like, can you imagine, Steve, being a 31-year-old woman with a child living in another state with her family? I'm like, I get it. It don't matter whether she's right or wrong. But the empathy is, that's where she is, that's where she was, empathize, because you probably would have been tripping too. And I didn't have to come to you with that. I'm telling you now, I never had to come to you and say, you know what, I was mad at you for 4 years or 3 years.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that I was like, what? Forgive me? What do you mean? You had to forgive me? What do you mean?
Hello.
I'm me. Hello.
Hello. Can't you see my halo?
Yeah, but so yes.
Right.
Yes to all of that, but also, and this is not in like defense of the things, I don't know if I believed in you initially. Like that's a truth. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know if I was going.
You're a loser.
No. Okay, let me rephrase that.
No, I'm being silly. I'm telling you, you don't want to protect me. I'm fine.
I know, but I want to clarify, because it's not just us having this conversation. It's just us having this conversation, but it's going to be out here in the world. And so I want to be clear. It wasn't that I didn't believe in you. I just was like, I need this to happen tomorrow. And I'm the one having to get up really early to the train, get to bed really early. I'm cooking, I'm this, I'm that. I'm the one that doesn't always have the fare, and I have to just kind of squeeze by and hope somebody doesn't, find me. I was the one that was dealing with all that. And then you'd be at home or, doing, granted, you were taking care of our daughter, taking her to this, taking her to that, but the responsibility was so on me. And I was just like, I need this to happen quicker than what it's happening. And the other piece is like the retraining. I don't come from a home of entrepreneurs.
The retraining. Yeah.
And I had to understand that retraining.
Oh, you're still not over that yet.
No. I be tripping.
No, it's not that you stop it. Don't say that you're tripping. What you've acknowledged, my love, you've acknowledged that you're designed a certain way and that you've been conditioned. That don't just go away. You know what I mean? This is why, I'm a basketball coach and I'm a sports coach. That's why they go to practice every day, even when they're zillionaires. Michael Jordan talks about this. He talks about, as simple as the situation was, Phil Jackson had a certain drill they would start their practices with. And Mike would come back in the morning after a flight, after a game, whether he had 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever points. He was trying to throw a chest pass as perfectly as he could.
Okay.
That just shows, it doesn't go. I'm conditioned a certain way. If I don't work on this, it might not be. You know what I mean? So you working, I don't expect you to just clip it on because, my company took off and I made a couple dollars and I was able to sell and I've got a network of people that I can do different things. I don't expect you, my love, to just click that thing off. I watch you do it. We have this I watch you do it and I forgive you and I empathize. She's not built like that. It doesn't mean she's soft. She's not built like that. And I think when we use that vernacular, that term sometimes, it means that she's not strong enough or he's not strong enough or whatever. No. You're not built like that. I'm designed and built that way. And I think the thing that you know now is, I said it earlier, was, hey, I need more time. Now you know this don't just happen tomorrow.
No. It still doesn't happen as quickly as I'd like for it to happen. And that's just the truth. But that's also me being a babe in all of this. And that retraining. Yeah.
I don't need to forgive you for that. I empathize.
Yeah.
See, and I think what we're talking, we suck. You know why we suck? You know why we suck?
I love you so much.
No, I'm telling you. I know we suck because there's people out there that want us to give more of us. We keeping it a buck, y'all. We've been through some things, but that's probably 4 stories that don't need to be told. And if we told you 4 stories, you wouldn't come back in a month because it's only 4 stories. We do the freaking work. Straight up and down. She been to therapy. I've been to therapy. Am going to therapy. Have been kicked out of therapy for talking crazy to my therapist. Am I lying?
No.
For talking crazy. I've been cussed out. Matter of fact, my wife came to one of my sessions and seen like, oh, this is aggressive.
Dialogue is interesting.
This dialogue is aggressive.
That's how y'all talk to each other.
That's how we talk to each other.
Got it.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. We have done the work. Like we have done the work. And we love each other. No, it ain't that. Our love is a verb.
That too.
Yeah, but our love is a verb. We recognize when it needs to be a verb. And a part of that verb is adverb is an action. What does adverb do?
It's an adjective that describes
a verb. So it's a verb. And we, in our verb, make sure that we do the work. Well, Steve, what are you talking about do the work? That means that if we got to go to therapy, we got to go to therapy. If we have to improve upon something, we improve upon that thing.
Nothing's off the table.
Nothing's off the table, right? Other than weird stuff. Yeah, so that's that. I don't want y'all to think we just be making this stuff up and that we're just happy-go-lucky. No, we go through it. You know what I mean? Like we was yelling at each other yesterday about the Connecticut and California law. And then 2 minutes later, we went to go get lunch. And then I posted about her being a fantastic. We don't let that stuff fester. You know what I mean? Like if it's in the air, we just if it's deep, it's deep. If it ain't, it ain't. If we need to have a conversation, we go ahead and have it. You know, sometimes she presses it and there's one conversation she knows I hate, but even in that, she's like, I'm gonna tell him. And I know I'm tripping, but I'm gonna tell him because that's my girl and I love you. I won't want you to hold on to that. You know where we go with it.
Right.
But it's like you have to say it.
I have to say it because it's in my head and it's living there. Yeah. And so even when we're having other conversations, there's a little bit of a whisper of something that's telling me.
Because you were conditioned.
Yes. You
were conditioned.
Exactly. And so, but I think that then what we're expressing or explaining is like we have done the repairing that we needed to emotionally so that then you can go up. Here she goes.
Right.
Let me just let her do what she has to do.
And my face will do something like this.
Oh, he gets so mad.
I'll do this, whatever. And then she'll say.
Or get short with me or whatever.
Say it.
I know.
Are you mad at me? Say it.
Are you mad?
Not mad, just frustrated. Where we going to eat? It's not worth throwing it all away. And people be throwing stuff away.
Okay. So before you say that, I want to say, so we're taking us out of the equation for a moment.
Copy.
We're taking, yes, this is how we have worked through things. This is how we
arrive at forgiveness. Okay.
At forgiveness in our marriage. Okay. Yep, in our relationship. But there is something that happens, has nothing, I don't say it has nothing to do with us, but it's not relevant to us in this moment, right? But it's the releasing of the past. I think a lot of people in relationships, dare I say marriage, dare I say they're just in committed partnerships or whatever it is, they have a hard time of like really letting go of what has happened so that they can move forward. And I think that happens more often than we like to talk about, because we like to just pinpoint it at the most recent thing that somebody's doing. But really, you're still harboring what has happened 20 years ago or however long. Mm-hmm. So I think we don't experience our...
That's another part of doing the work too.
Right.
Becoming the best you. Because yes, you're in a relationship, but you have to you can't stop being the best you. You can't stop learning about yourself.
Right.
You can't stop growing. You can't just... I mean, I keep knocking it, talking trash, but I am not going to just let my body... If my body will allow me to still go, I don't want my wife to have to come home to nasty, fat, nasty. You know what I mean? I don't think she'd have to. You know what I mean? I don't think that she wants to have a conversation with someone who's not well read. I don't think that you want to be around someone who doesn't have faith. I don't think that you care to live your life with someone who doesn't value becoming a better parent. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or an intentional parent, right or wrong.
Just
you know
having,
what I mean?
Having a
sense of
like depth of
like growing. Like you can't just sit in what you were. So you come together, and then God puts a little something on it. Yeah, I came together. Go and get the party going, right? But you also are separate entities that it's a mandate that you must grow. Mm-hmm. Because if one person doesn't grow or continues to grow, then that's when we have the literal sense of unequally yoked. Mm-hmm. Nobody did anything wrong. Nobody cheated. Nobody's money ain't right. Nobody's disrespecting, but somebody's here and somebody's here. Mm-hmm. That don't work.
Right. And that's why it's so important. And we'll talk about communication in another episode, but that's why communication, I think, is so important. And that's how we keep perfecting communication and how we talk, and knowing I have to know when to have a conversation. I can't.
You suck at that. You be like, all right, let me try right now. Hey, bro.
Wait a second, because the last time,
you just like double dutch for you. It's like, I'm serious. Like you literally be like, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. And I'm like, all right, we in it. I'm right here with you.
It's never a good time for you.
You're right. I'm just like this.
He's not just crotchety and knock it off, okay? It's never a good time. It's just never a good time. He hears we need to talk, and immediately something turns off. And but that is probably not, like, that's probably people's experiences. And not, we have this thing, and it's a well-oiled machine, and it works for us. But I imagine there are a lot of other couples or partners,
got real stuff. So when she said,
and it's like, we need to talk. It's like,
oh, wow,
what's she about to say?
Right.
What is she gonna ask me about?
Right.
So
yeah, I'm busting my butt. I love my kids. I take care of my business. You know what I mean? So when I know when you say we got to talk, it's not. It just means I don't feel like turning on my emotional stuff. Like, I just don't feel like it. Like, I don't want to do this right now, bro. So it's not a thing of, did she catch me? I bet there's dudes and there's women, there's relationships, did they catch me? You know what I mean? I don't live like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Forgiveness. What a concept.
Yeah.
It's for you. Mm-hmm. It ain't got nothing to do with the other person.
Mm-hmm. I do have some takeaways.
Okay.
For processing through and forgiving a partner.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What do I need to do to feel emotionally safe? So, right, they've gone through the process. They've talked about, they've acknowledged their feelings. They've...
Did you see the way my face just glosses over when she starts talking about feelings and emotions?
I'm a woman. I love talking about feelings.
Like, all right. Get to it. Go ahead, dear. Sorry.
Yeah. No. So say, they've gone through the 7 steps. So they've empathized, they've set the boundaries, they've started a process. They've done that, right? And now they're in the rebuild state, because they're going to stay. We're not getting divorced. Okay. We're not breaking up. We're not doing that, right? So what you want to be doing is you want to identify the things that make you feel emotionally safe. Like, what are the triggers? If you stay out late and you go out and I don't get to go with you, but you have been cheating, that doesn't make me feel emotionally safe. That kind of thing,
where you're going.
right?
I know where you're going. Go ahead. I get it.
So what do I need from you? Since we've decided that we're not going to break up, what is it that I need? Y'all have to establish that. You have to talk about that. That's number one. You also have to like set boundaries in the relationship. So we talk about boundaries being for ourselves, but in a partnership, it feels like there needs to be a compilation of boundaries that are set so that there's an understanding and both people have to be okay with it.
Right.
So if he likes to go out, but when he goes out, sometimes he should still be able to go out.
Right.
But maybe, and I'm not saying you are always going, but you are establishing the norm so that then he's getting what he needs, you get what you need, and those boundaries are set on both ends.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So then the other thing is, what do I need from them to rebuild the trust?
If their trust has been broken.
Well, typically in forgiveness in relationships,
trust has been broken.
There's a trust, whether it's, we use the example infidelity, but like if we think about finances, maybe somebody spends more than the other. And so they don't trust that, you're being responsible when you're swiping that card. And now I'm having to use my money to go do blah, whatever. So not that there should be my money or your money in a marriage, but yeah. So those are things that have to be established in preparation to forgive your partner and to move forward.
Yes, I dig it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say one more thing regarding boundaries. After you've done your work, the boundaries are important that you maintain your boundaries. I let my boundaries down via my therapist, who told me regarding some relationships that she had written some things down, we had established and worked hard, and I allowed my boundaries to come down. Because once again, just because I don't rock with you doesn't mean that I hate you or I dislike you. It means that I love you a lot. But you do something to me that takes me out of my character, it compromises things. And as a man, I can't allow myself to be compromised. So you put these boundaries in place. Stick to your boundaries.
They're there for a reason.
They're there for a reason. It doesn't mean you hate someone. It doesn't mean there's beef there. The boundary is there sometimes to protect you.
From you.
Mm-hmm. I never knew that. I learned it. I learned the hard way.
Yeah, definitely.
The boundaries are for you. It don't mean that you got beef. It don't mean you want to fight. It don't mean you want to be shooting subs out via social media. You can still love that person. Hard, heavy. Pray about it. You know what I mean? Like real talk. Like, these are my people. But it's like, hey, bro. Hey, sis. I got to come first.
And I don't have control over you. And because I don't have control over you, I can't change how you move. And so until you show me changed behavior, there's really nothing that I can do except respond to how you come at me.
And we can end on this because you walked right into this.
Okay, cool.
That, my friend, is the perfect apology. Some of you have heard it. Some of you may not have heard it. But the saying, the best apology is changed behavior, means that true remorse for wrongdoing is best demonstrated not just by saying sorry, but by actively altering one's actions to avoid repeating the offense in the future. I'll say that again. The saying, the best apology is changed behavior, means that true remorse for wrongdoing is best demonstrated not just by saying sorry, but by actively altering, that's a verb, one's actions to avoid repeating the offense in the future. Now, that also hinges upon whether you want that person in your life, whether that relationship is going to move forward. Sometimes a relationship, there is no more forward. Mm-hmm. But if it is to move forward, you don't even need someone to come and say, back to the illustration that I started with, come here, you come here. What'd you say? And what happened? And you tell me what happened? You don't do that again. And you say, I'm sorry. Say it. Sorry. It's okay. It don't work like that. Mm-mm. It will never work like that.
Mm-mm. I mean, it works on a blacktop.
Right. And that's only,
That's the only place it works.
They 6-7 years old, and there's someone there to referee it. Mm-hmm. Well, we ain't got no referees because we're supposed to be adults. Exactly. There it is.
That's good.
So if you want to apologize to somebody, change your behavior if you want that person in your life still. And remember, I'll say that part again. My wife says this. If that person wants you to be in their life, because you could do the work, alter your behavior, and that person still has the right to say, yo, I'm good, without hating you, without being mean, without wanting to fight you, without wanting to do different things, right? Forgiveness. What a concept.
Forgiveness.
What a concept. Nuanced, but simple, right?
I think so.
I don't think this was boring. I really don't. I really liked this conversation. I thought we did a good job. Yeah. I think we were locked in.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. You got anything else?
I don't.
All hearts and minds clear?
We are clear.
We are clear.
Let's go eat.
Let's go eat. Hey, thank you once again for taking your time to be with us. All right, this has been Marriage for Grown Folks, episode whatever. We're rolling. Once again, we're working on getting our stuff on all the other streams so you can just hear us audibly, just the audio only. We're working on that. Man, we got kids. Man, we got stuff going on. Take some time. Yeah, this is family owned and operated.
Yeah.
This is family owned and operated.
Produced by. Written by.
Right. Except Mark. What up, Mark?
Yes.
Our guy Mark ain't here.
Right.
All right. But nonetheless, thank you guys again. We appreciate you. We love you. Find us on Facebook. Find us on TikTok. Find us on Instagram. On YouTube, where you can find this program.
Actual episode.
All right. Also, drop us some stuff. All right. You got some questions, not about our relationship. Don't be trying to get too deep. But if you want to ask us some questions, ask some questions. We will add a segment where we will answer your questions. I will also follow this up by putting it on social media as well. And if you got some questions, whether it's about finance, whether it's about how the house is ran, whether it's about something sexual or intimate, whether it's about, I don't know, faith, whether it's about dreams and business acumen, drop that question. We will add a segment and answer it while we're here.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
I'm definitely excited.
Yeah,
I want to start answering some questions.
Yeah, man.
I've gotten some on the side, so it'd be nice
We'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys next week.